All right. Hello, world. AI weather girl, alligator bride, and tasty lab grown chicken. Ugh, better step right up and grab a spoon. This week's tasty stew of Showcase is coming to a boil. I'm Don,
And I'm AJ.
and you are watching Showcase for the week ending Sunday, July 9, 2023. Yeah. You didn't think I was gonna go and throw the camera back on you there. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome. Thanks so much for watching Weekend Showcase. Once again, I'm Don. With me tonight is my good friend and colleague, Mr. AJ. How are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me. And thank you at home for joining us as well. Don't forget to smash that like button and follow and subscribe, as the case may be, across YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Kick. Don't forget, we're also on kick.com at kick.com/weekend showcase. Yeah, I'm still getting the hang of it. It's weird. We don't really do stuff on Twitch primarily anymore. That's weird. Anyway, this is our Sunday show, and that, of course, means weird headlines and your live chat comments. Drop us a comment in the live chat if you're with us during this hour, and you just might see your comments with us live on the air. And, one quick program note before we begin. This is our final major live stream for the summer. We're going to take a brief pause on this for a few weeks. Up to a couple months, basically. We're still working out the logistics of that. We're going to give our TikTok account at Weekend Showcase a chance to really sort of shine in the sun for a little bit. We've been sort of putting that on the back burner for a while. So basically, you're going to want to make sure that you're following us there at Weekend Showcase. We're going to be there a lot more actively over the course of the next few weeks, and we're looking to come back with more live stream content, hopefully by this time in September at the absolute latest. So just make sure you're following us on our social pages, and we'll make some announcements there very soon. So, AJ, you ready for some weird news?
Yes, man. Let's get it.
There we go. All right. Let's get started. First order of business. Shoot. I'm sorry. I almost forgot to put the background music on. What am I doing? Let's try. AJ, what looks good? Ambient, future pop, chill hop?
Chill hop.
Chill hop. All right. We got it. All right. So while that loads up, bam, there we go. Cool. All right. First item comes to us from the Daily Star. AI weather girl presents first forecast and immediately sparks Randy meltdown. What is this? Austin Powers? Who uses that terminology that way? Good grief. I don't know what in the world that is. Anyway, all right, so let's see. A female weather presenter powered by artificial intelligence technology sparked a meltdown online after presenting its first forecast with horny blokes seemingly in love with it. Taiwanese news network FTV debuted the new AI presenter for a 2-minute forecast on Monday, July 3rd. It came following 6 months of developments. The advanced tech is able to learn from past broadcasts to perfect its forecasting ability. It received good reviews. Normally, an AI-generated video clip doesn't feel like it's a real person talking, but she doesn't give it away, one viewer told the news channel. This isn't a video. Let's see. I'm trying to see. It doesn't look like there's a video attached to this. But I guess, AJ, what are your immediate thoughts on this as we sort of kick this off here?
I mean, I think it's a little weird they've got AI doing weather reports, but, it's just how it is.
Is this something that if they introduced here in the States, is this something that you would take as seriously as though it were coming from a human meteorologist?
Probably not.
Why not?
Memers.
Say that again?
People that make memes.
Oh.
I'll be thinking about them the whole time. I'll be thinking it's fake the entire time.
Well, I mean, it is real. It is a real weather report. It's just the delivery mechanism is fake. But I guess it's just going to take a while to sort of get used to. I know we've been sort of talking about weird news AI in the course of these weird news headlines over the course of these last several months here, and it's really on the forefront of people's minds in a lot of ways. Like we've been hearing a lot of stuff about AI taking the place of creative individuals. Obviously, that combined with streaming rights. Royalties. That's at the crux of the writer's strike that's still ongoing right now. Some of you watching may recall we spoke with Paul Rugg about this recently. You can actually see that interview on our channel from last month. But it's this is something that's actually a little bit more tangible and a little bit more sort of close to home in terms of its impact, as opposed to creative arts. Here's something that, like, we need weather reports to get things like, how to navigate the world over the course of the day and week, travel reports and stuff like that. We're in the middle of summer, travel season, right? I mean, I don't know, like, if the delivery mechanism isn't an actual person, but is able to deliver the same quality of reports, I mean, I don't know. I'd at least sort of like keep a relatively open mind about it, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but it seems a little bit easier to take in this context than, creative arts. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Brain Spaz. Hey, Brain Spaz. Good to see you again. WEATHERGIRL. AI takes another job from a human. On paper, yeah, it would seem so. But again, this technology is still in its diapers. We don't know that for sure yet. But at the end of the day, I think we can all agree, you need a human being to do certain things that are best suited for human beings to do, starting with creative expression, first and foremost. I mean, right? AI, would you, or sorry, AI, I just called you AI. AJ, would you agree with that? I can't believe I said that.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely would agree with it.
You're a human, right, AJ? Yeah, you're not AI, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're live. You're not Memorex, right? Okay.
Right.
See, we're almost to the point where that's actually a thing to have to ask. Good grief, it's crazy. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's move on to the next topic, which comes to us now from, let's see, what do we have here? Okay, this is from The Week. Mexican mayor marries a crocodile. This was first published last Monday, I believe this is, July 3rd. Good grief. That's the lovely bride, I guess. I don't know. The mayor of a Mexican town has married a crocodile bride in a traditional ritual for prosperity, reported the BBC. Mayor Victor Hugo Sosa could be seen kissing the reptile, whose snout had been tied shut. The 7-year-old crocodile is believed to symbolize a deity linked with Mother Earth, and her marriage represents the joining of humans with the divine. Mayor Victor Hugo Sosa told the reporters, quote, "It is the union of two cultures." Okay. We don't have a video attached to this. It seems to sort of get sidetracked with something about punching a bear and boil in the bag funerals. We may have to come back to that in another weird news stream later down the line. But okay, marrying a crocodile under sort of like cultural sort of symbiosis with nature auspices, I think is the right word for that. AJ, your thoughts?
I mean, I think when he's out at a bar with his friends and he's like, "Hey guys, I really got to get home or my wife's going to bite my head off." I think that's got a literal meaning now.
You know what? You're not wrong. I can't believe you beat me to that kind of punchline. I don't know why that didn't occur to me, but I'm glad that you brought that up because that was a little bit funnier coming from you, I got to say. But yeah, that is nuts. This looks like the sort of thing that would show up in maybe like an Onion headline or something like that. You know what I mean? Like the sort of thing that like an AI sort of news aggregator system would invent and then blast out in a tweet. You know what I mean? Something along those lines. And then we have to go through a bunch of scrupulous fact-checking processes to go through and debunk this thing that was posted. But okay, I guess this is real. Good grief. I guess that's... I don't know. Hopefully, a long, happy relationship is ahead of... I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to sound insensitive because this seems like a serious thing, but it's weird news. I don't know what else to say. About this. AJ, any last words on this before we move on? We have a lot more stories to get to.
No. I think all that can be said has been said.
Okay, cool. In that case, let's go ahead and move on. Once again, this is Weird News right here on Weekend Showcase, live across YouTube, Kick, Facebook, and Twitter at Weekend Showcase. Thanks for joining and smashing that like button and subscribing or following. Let's see what else we've got tonight. This is back to the Daily Star here. Scientists reveal what lab-grown chicken actually tastes like as vegans still crave it. I mean, good grief. That's a little bit anticlimactic. Good grief. Like maybe with a little bit of hypocrisy, come to think of it. I mean, like if you're a vegan, I mean, that's not really, I'm trying to remember what the terminology of that is. Like you have vegans versus, what's the other term for it? Where it's like, there's two terminologies where you have one that you only eat vegetables or like,
vegetarian
diet. Vegetarian, thank you. So there's vegetarian versus vegan. Okay, so vegan is the one that's open to meat and vegetarian is the one that's only green-based vegetables, green-based diet, right?
No. Vegetarians eat nothing but greens, like green-based diet.
Right, that's what I mean.
Vegans. Oh wait, yeah. Vegans just don't eat animal byproducts
Okay, so
like
okay,
eggs
so
and
then this
milk.
is okay, so then this is a little bit interesting because we're classifying the vegan desire for lab-grown meat as a craving instead of just a regular old sort of like being open to it. Which, goodness, okay. Let's see. There's Chicken Boo. What's the matter with you? You don't act like the other chickens do. Sorry, I can't help it. Bonus points if you caught that reference. Anyway, scientists have started growing meat in the lab, and they claim it tastes just like chicken. Womp womp. Technically, the product they have created has the same cellular structure as chicken, only the meat doesn't come from a slaughterhouse. Instead, the cultured meat is grown in bioreactors in an urban factory in California, right here in the US. Wow. The research project began over a decade ago with the world's first cultured beef burger, which reportedly cost over £250,000, it looks like, in 2013. The burger was created and then eaten by Maastricht University biomedical engineer Mark Post, who then grew a beak and feathers. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't say that. That would be fake news. But yeah, okay. This is a picture here. The world's first cultured beef burger. That's what that is right there. And apparently that's a really expensive Whopper. AJ, would you eat this?
No. My main reason. I mean, I'm just not a big burger guy, but also, I don't like the idea of it being like everything's completely made in a lab.
So, but what about the idea of how much the normal sort of manufacturing process and processing methods of meat-based products, how much that's contributing to everything from climate change and deforestation to species being like dwindled out. There's a strong argument that at least on the surface can be made to stuff like this actually, if not outright solving world hunger, at the very least doing damage to the sources of catastrophic climate change. We just had the planet's hottest week on record last week. I don't know if you saw that in the news last week. I mean, does this sort of throw some different perspective options in, AJ? What are your thoughts on that?
For the most part, still wouldn't do it. I don't know. There's just something not right about it to me.
Well, I understand the reluctance. I'm a little bit reluctant too. I'm just trying to sort of like keep an open mind to at least this technology as things sort of advance along. Maybe we'll be able to sort of strike a balance. I don't know, like to at least allow these source species more chance to sort of like fully repopulate, as nature sort of intended them to be, basically, while humanity sort of like is able to sort of find its footing towards achieving symbiosis with all of these different animal species. Maybe not necessarily to the point of, say, for example, marrying an alligator, but better than where we're at right now. You know what I'm saying?
And look, man, all I'm saying is until scientists can find a way to give us the kind of food that we saw in Spy Kids, I don't want anything that they make.
Fair enough. Brain Spaz in the YouTube comments section saying no for the Franken food, no vomiting face emoji. Yeah, I understand. I understand the reluctance. And again, I want to be clear. I don't see myself eating Franken food anytime soon myself. I want to make that absolutely clear. While it sounds like I'm giving a devil's advocate sort of argument in favor of it, I'm just trying to make sure that we sort of look at this and our natural reflexive reluctance to consuming Franken food with the right sort of context when you factor in what the entire purpose of this technology is, which just basically boils down to generating more sustainable food sources for humans the world over. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that's a positive thing to aim for, but the means that we get there, it's really sort of, I don't know. Here's a new viewer, SKST Radio Network Podcast, the Cami Grayson Show, saying nope, and then what looks like a foul, cross arms gesture there emoji. Yeah, I'm with you. The Cami Grayson Show. Yeah, that's gonna be that is definitely sort of a hard pass. At the end of the day, at least for right now, we'll see where this goes from here. Oh shoot, I'm sorry, I forgot to put my darn notifications on vibrate. Shame on me. Anyway, all right. So I guess that's basically it for this, as far as we can sort of describe it. But we have plenty more stories to go. And if you want to read more about this or any of the other topics, you can always check out the sources area of the description at the bottom of this video on YouTube or on Facebook. We have all of our sources listed. You can use that as the starting point to do further research. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic on the docket, which comes to us from the Associated Press. Florida being Florida police officers were accused of jailing their young son over potty training accidents.
It's beautiful.
Seemed a bit much. Why is it? Whoa! What? Seriously?
Look, man, I'm telling you, the next big crime that we got to worry about is, bodily fluid crimes. Like people that urinate in public, babies that can't, potty train, and worst of all, people that don't pick up dog poo. I think we need to just throw them in jail, throw away the key, let them have 4 years. Boom.
But that stuff already happens.
Well, you already get 4 years?
No. I mean, everything you just listed is a regular, is like a thing that already happens in the world. You characterized it as like the next big cultural crime or something, basically. Like it was like a Sweeps Week episode of Law and Order. Like I don't know that we can go that far with it.
I've already got the idea in my head. Like dad tries to teach his son to potty train. This is even before even seeing this article because we haven't seen it yet. Like he's teaching him, and then the kid, he's like, I can't do it, Daddy. And then he stands up, and then, it happens like right on his pants. And then the SWAT team busts down his door like Transformers. They just, capture the kid.
Wow. Yeah, that's a vivid imagination you have there, man. I gotta say, I had not thought that far through past this particular headline there. But maybe you should write a movie about that. I don't know. Like, toilet training gone wrong. I don't know. or TikTok. I don't know. Whatever. Let's go ahead and read further into this and see what the deal is here. Florida police officers accused of twice putting their 3.5-year-old son in the jail cell to punish him for potty training accidents remain on the job while the investigation continues. Now, wait a minute. Here's what I'm not clear on. Is this a real jail cell or just like a play thing, like a play box or something that's supposed to imply that at home? Because that seems like okay. That seems to be something that's a little above the like over the line, I guess, to my instinct. I don't know. I'm not a parent, but that seems to be over the line for me. Nearly 9 months later, the Daytona Beach Shores Police Department is not talking about it, and most records related to the investigation have been sealed by a Volusia, Volusia County judge. The city strives to always be open and transparent. However, due to the court order that was issued to the city, we are unable to comment at this time. If anything should change, we would be happy to discuss. The city's public information officer wrote in an email to the AP. Ms. D says in the YouTube comment, not funny, traumatized the kid for life. Yeah, I can see that now with the right context for this.
I didn't realize it was a real jail. I thought they like got him like a little, like how we used to have, what are those things called? But it was like a big baby brand where they made like cars and like playhouses and things like that. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, Kemi Grayson shows us potty jail. Oh, good grief. But see, all right, you can arrive at the conclusion. It's a pretty clear and easy conclusion to arrive at based on the structure of this headline. Like jailing is in quotations. Like it was hard to sort of arrive at the conclusion based on this headline alone that they meant like actual jail from this. Like that seems to me to be like over the line. I don't know, like where in the world that came from in terms of thinking that's a good idea, but whatever. Let's see. The couple said they quote unquote jail. Again, they're pretty good in quotations. Jailed their son twice on October 5 and 6, 2022. They were interviewed by a state child abuse investigator who was escorted to their home by a Volusia County Sheriff's deputy whose body camera recorded the conversation. The video was sent to the media this week by the sheriff's office, which later asked to recall it, citing a court order restricting the release of information about the case. The Associated Press is not identifying the child nor the parents. The mother is a detective and the father a lieutenant with the Daytona Beach Shores Police. Their attorney, Michael Lambert, did not respond to an email seeking comment. During the hour-long video, the child's mother said she didn't believe they did anything wrong, adding that it's just people getting twisted. She also called the investigation, quote, the definition of insanity, end quote. Wow. Um, I'm not a parent, AJ. I know you're not either, but like, yeah, this does warrant looking into. I can't believe that this was done, but then again, this is Florida. I don't know how else to sort of say it. That state has quite a reputation for insane headlines. That's basically all I can say
I'll
about
say it
that.
once and I'll say it again. We just need to disconnect Florida from us. Make it its own sovereign, crazy nation. But just, let's just go to 49 states. I like the way that sounds.
I mean, there are provinces that probably, do with actual statehood. Heck, DC is actually like in the contiguous body of the country. Why isn't that a state? I mean, it's just a district. They don't have like actual. If memory serves, they still don't have statehood. Puerto Rico is still like I'm trying to remember if that's a province or still considered a territory. I remember we don't have time to look into the proper research of that. But if anybody actually has that information offhand, feel free to drop that information in the comments or in the live chat here. We can go ahead and involve that here to make sure we get the right information on that. But yeah, and AP, while we're at it, hey AP, would it have killed y'all to like put the word literally in the headline so we know that this isn't a humorous thing? Like literally jailing their young son. That kind of would have hit a little bit better than putting that word in quotations. And it's like, okay, I don't know, whatever. Yes. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic on the docket. Good grief, that was weird. All right, next item. Next item on the docket comes to us from NPR. Meet Scooter, the winner of this year's World's Ugliest Dog contest. Well, AJ?
He looks like a demented Albert Einstein if he turned himself into a dog.
You know what? It's funny that you say that. Like, now that you said that, I can't unsee it. Like, the comparison between that and there's a famous meme, that famous meme of Albert Einstein. Hang on, let me see if I can find that in here. Yeah, hang on a second. I think this is... Yeah, this thing. This image right here. That's exactly where my mind went when you said that. That's crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Wow. Anyway, but yeah, World's Ugliest Dog. There you go. His name is Scooter. It's a 7-year-old Chinese crested dog with reversed hind legs, is nearly bald except for a shock of white wispy hairs. But it's those kinds of peculiarities that endeared the pooch to judges at the World's Ugliest Dog contest in Petaluma, California, where he took home the grand prize on Friday. Scooter's pink, wayward tongue may be drooping from his mouth. The contest title, however, is meant to be tongue-in-cheek, womp womp. The nearly 50-year-old event is held to show that these dogs are uniquely beautiful by celebrating the imperfections that make all dogs special and to advocate for adoption. If that's the case, why would you call this contest World's Ugliest Dog? If you're trying to celebrate the beauty and individuality, your framing and your marketing is atrocious. AJ, what do you got on this?
I mean, like, they're talking about imperfections making the dog special. I mean, the minute I saw the dog, like, I started giggling at him. Like, he's got a little more than imperfection. But at the same time, if you're gonna have a contest to, show equality, like everyone's beautiful in their own kind of way, probably label him the world's there's no nice word for me to use that I can think of, but they could come up with something. They're a marketing team.
Or I guess whoever's in charge of the event presumably has one at least. Brain Spaz on YouTube with a comment, ooh, ow, my eyes hurt. Yeah, he won that contest. Yeah.
It looks like he was raised in Florida.
Say again?
I said he looks like he was raised in Florida.
Ouch, good grief. Camby Grayson Show says, just take him to the groomers. But see, this is a beauty pageant, or some sort of like a pageant sort of contest, basically. And what you just saw there was the after picture of the winning contestant. Like, if there was ever a dog that had like any sort, or a dog owner, I guess, Scooter's owners, whatever. If there was ever any motivation to not go to the groomers anytime soon, it would probably be like being able to say, pageant award winning, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would seem to me that's the obvious thing to do, but I don't know. That seemed to actually work out in their favor. Any last words on this, AJ, before we move on?
I feel like if that dog ever like licks you, you'll probably start like sardines. I don't know why, but also, I think that, you know, I mean, their owner's probably a really nice guy, probably really loves their dog, and maybe they're a little sad that their dog just made ugliest dog in a what seems to be a not joking kind of contest. Now, if they meant ugly, like, hey, son, like, you ugly, you know, like that, you know, that kind of makes sense to me.
Kemi Grayson Show says, poor pup. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, at least there's always room to grow and improve. You know, there are options for that, like with the groomer's suggestion that you provided earlier. So, I don't know.
Of course.
I mean,
anime time skipping.
What'd you say? Time skipping?
Yeah, we anime time skipping because everyone looks better after a time skip.
Oh, you're saying either basically like. You're saying basically chart the progress, like do like a training montage sort of thing, basically, or just like you said, like jump cut to the end of it, basically. But like, what about the process of it? But what about the process of it, right? Isn't that
we'll get the
flash?
We'll get the flashbacks.
But that has to come after we've seen the finished product. It sounds like you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, those of you who are watching us live, what do you think? Would you watch a time lapse or like montage or whatever of the grooming process, or would you prefer to just basically jump cut to the end and actually see the after picture of this literally pageant award winning dog here that won the title of World's Ugliest Dog? Shoot us a comment and let us know your thoughts on that. Let's move on. We're moving on, AJ. We're moving on. Okay, this next one's from the Mirror. Here we go. Okay, dog owners warned not to share bed with their pets due to untreatable superbug. Whoa. Okay, this might be a little important. Sharing a bed with your dog may improve your sleep quality, but it can negatively impact your overall health. Experts are urging dog owners against regularly sharing a bed with their pets following a spread of an untreatable superbug. The MCR1 gene, believed to be transmitted from animals to humans, has built up a resistance to certain life-saving drugs. With drug-resistant infections killing an estimated 700,000 people a year worldwide, the UN warns this could rise to 10 million by 2050 if nothing is done. Its research team has warned of an instance where humans can pick up the bug, which was first identified in China in 2015. Dogs can harbor MCR1 in the gut before it's transported via microscopic fecal particles. Okay, so those of you with dogs who are prone to involuntary number twos, I guess, are most profoundly at risk or most profoundly susceptible to picking this up, if that's actually something that y'all do. I don't know. I can't imagine sharing my bed with a healthy dog, quite frankly. But, oh, okay, I guess that emoji showed up in the form of basic text, a blue wide-eyed face. I guess that's the shocked face expression, the like Macaulay Culkin Home Alone. Yeah, okay. From Kemi Grayson Show there. Oh, sorry, AJ, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't understand. Like, I understand people that love their pets. You know, I used to have pets and I loved them half to death. But there's some things that people do with their pets that just don't make sense to me. Like dudes that shower with their dog, or people that go to kiss their dog in the mouth. I've seen some weird stuff, and I'm just saying, like,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's back up one moment. Are you seriously saying you've heard of an instance where somebody actually showers with their dog? This is news to me. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't heard of an example of this.
Well, I mean, I've heard it one time, and then I heard it another time because Family Guy made a joke about it.
But like in real life, though.
Oh yeah, in real life, no, it happens.
Wow. Okay, that's not me. I'm not doing that. I don't care. Like, I'm a dog person. Like, I have a dog myself, but like, I'm not No, I can't imagine that. I don't know, but whatever. Okay, we have another. It looks like we have another thing from the Cammie Grayson show. Control, can we put that on? Where is? You get that? Control? Nope. Okay. Oh well, there it is. Okay. I agree. I agree. Tongue out emoji. Crazy. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, and apparently now there's actual like real serious health implications to that, it would seem. So yeah, that's definitely something to have in mind. Those of you with dog owners who are actually like, you know, the dogs are small enough to actually fit in the bed. Yeah, public service announcement. Maybe it might be a good idea not to share your bed with your dog. I don't know. Friends don't let friends share a bed with a dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh snap! I just realized one other thing. What happens when a human gets the super bug? Can they give it to another human being?
No, what happens is the bug actually sort of like takes over the host's mind, and then it sort of blossoms out into these weird fungal patterns that take over the. Oh no, that's The Last of Us. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of The Last of Us. My mistake. No, I don't know what happens, but oh, hang on, we have another thing from Cammie Grayson's show. Do we have that on screen here? Thank you. Okay, people are crazy and nasty to kiss their dog. You know, I wouldn't say
somehow.
I wouldn't necessarily say crazy, but I would definitely agree with nasty. Like that's not something I would see myself doing, but not to judge. Brain Spaz says, what about folks who share food with their dog, literally fork to dog's mouth and then back to theirs? Yeah, oh god. Okay, those of you who are having dinner at about 6:30 on the East Coast right now, apologies for that. And if we're being honest, most of the stories that we've been talking about tonight, it would seem, come to think of it, enjoy your meal. No, but seriously, yeah, let's sort of like pump the brakes on that, on sharing the bed with your dog and kissing dogs on the mouth, that sort of thing. You know, we live in an age where, you know, bacterial, you know, microbes and viruses can go absolutely crazy on human immune systems, and you know, let's try and be a little bit more careful about that sort of thing, please. You know, so that more crazy things don't pop up. Like we only just got done with like everything that came up in 2020. I don't need to recount that, but goodness, let's be a little bit more careful. Thanks. Anyway, let's move on. Moving on. Next item comes to us from the New York Post. Man discovers mushrooms growing outside his bathroom. Somebody please help. Wow. Oh geez, come on. Can this get out of the way? No, I guess it's not going to get out of the way very easily. Good grief. Can you get out of there? Oh goodness. All right. Well, all right. Let me see if I can just do this, just to get that out of the way. Continue this side. Okay. That was weird. All right, now. An Australian homeowner has pleaded for help after making a disgusting discovery in their carpet. Sharing to a popular Facebook page, the resident revealed they had come across mushrooms growing out of the carpet outside their ensuite bathroom. Okay. A photo shared alongside the post showed two small mustard-colored mushrooms shooting out from a gap between the carpet and the baseboard. The resident wrote on the Cleaning and Organizing Inspiration Australia page, quote, "Somebody please help. My ensuite is on the border of our carpet and it keeps getting wet and growing mushrooms. How can I get rid of the damp carpet there to stop this happening?" Wow, yeah, that really sort of took root in there. Holy crap. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like the kind of mushroom that will make you grow physically bigger enough to actually pose a threat to King Bowser. But AJ, what do you got?
All I'm gonna say is, if I visit your house and you've got this in your bathroom, we are never speaking again. Like, I don't know what to do at this point. I might even hit you for being this dirty. Like, come on, dog.
Ms. D on YouTube says, "Quick, sell the house." I don't know how effective that's going to be if there's fungus growing in or near the bathroom like that. That's crazy. I mean, it's pretty safe to say, like, AJ, it sounds like you would not want to touch this house with a 10.5 foot pole.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what the market would even be for something like that necessarily. That's a bit much. Just going by this, the way that these mushrooms are just sort of like popping out of the ground like that. This is really sort of off-putting to even look at. The story goes on. More worryingly, the homeowner said the mushrooms had reared their heads in just a few hours. They weren't there this morning. By 3 p.m. when I got home, they were this big, they added. Hundreds of users reacted to the homeowner's frantic posts, with many recommending they brace for a costly and time-consuming cleanup. One person said, quote, "OMG, we had this problem. Our bathroom shower had a leak and we had rotten wood in the support structures of the wall too, which then got termites in them because damp also attracts termites. Insurance would cover it, and it costs us $30,000 to redo the shower, treat the termites, put in a termite barrier, and knock out the wall and replace. My advice, you can't ignore this. The longer you have dampness, the more issues you will have with damage. Get a plumber out ASAP and find the source of the leak." End quote. Well, definitely, that sounds like definitely a piece of advice worth taking. And maybe while you're at it, make sure you have the dog, put aside, basically, with any treats so that the plumber doesn't accidentally step on the treat on the way to the bathroom. Bonus points for those of you who saw the Super Mario Brothers movie and actually caught that reference. All right. Any last thoughts on this, AJ, before we move on?
Nope.
Okay,
Just
cool.
gross.
I guess let's go ahead and hit the next topic. This is Weird News right here on Weekend Showcase, broadcasting live across YouTube, Facebook, Kick, and Twitter at Weekend Showcase. Thanks so much for joining us and smashing that like button and subscribing or following. Let's take a look at what else we've got tonight. Let's see. Oh, Ms. D also says sell it at a deep discount just to get away. The house with the mushrooms growing out of it. I don't know how deep that discount would have to be for a sale to close, but it's
a $3 house.
$3 house. I mean, you get what you pay for. I think we can all agree to that in this world. You get what you pay for. All right. Anyway, next topic from National Public Radio. Roller coaster riders were trapped upside down for hours after a mechanical failure. Holy crap. I think I actually read something about this a few days ago, actually, in the lead up to the weekend. And yeah, this is the first time I'm actually seeing like a straight up news piece, like an actual written news piece about it. I think this was like a TikTok clip about it or something. A summer amusement, a summer amusement turned into a serious nightmare on Sunday after a roller coaster malfunctioned in midair, trapping 8 passengers upside down for several hours. The oscillating fireball was just sliding down from its vertical loop at the Forest County Festival in Crandon, Wisconsin, when it stopped unexpectedly because of a mechanical failure, according to a joint press release from the local fire department and rescue squad. Emergency personnel were dispatched to the scene within 15 minutes, but needed to request special equipment, including 3 ladder trucks from nearby towns to complete the rescue. One truck with the capability of rising over 100 feet took approximately 45 minutes to arrive on the scene. An off-duty firefighter with specialized rope rescue training happened to be at the festival at the time of the incident, wow, lucky, and advised the local crews on possible options. The fire department said, quote, "Due to the release mechanism of safety equipment on individual cars, all individuals in a car needed to be properly secured prior to release of safety equipment," the fire department said. Okay, so I guess let's start with this. AJ, where are you at with roller coasters?
I don't ride them, never will. Once for a chorus event in high school, they tried to get me on there. My friend tied my hand to their hand, like with some cable headphones, just wrapped it as a way to get me to go on there. Just absolutely purely evil. I'll never trust roller coasters. Never.
Or that friend, I would presume.
Yeah, duh.
Good grief. Yeah, because this looks like something straight out of Final Destination 3. This is horrible. Ms. D says, okay, I will never ride one of those again. I mean, yeah, I've never been much of a roller coaster person myself, to be brutally honest. It's I don't even know how I would be able to, like, I would pass out after a certain amount of time upside down with all the blood rushing to my head. It's like, I don't think that would be something that I could see myself even risking the opportunity to do. Those of you who are actually liking roller coasters, I don't know, like, where do you stand on this? Like, is this something that you could actually like deal with? Like, or is I don't know. I don't know how to sort of like pivot this in something that's engaging to an audience. I don't know. AJ, what do you have for a question? I don't know. I'm having writer's block.
It's like this. Would you spend an entire day at Busch Gardens knowing that there could be a 80% chance that this happens to you? Or would you rather just stay away and do other fun activities like go to the beach, go on a date, sit on the couch and drink a root beer.
But whoa. Let's back up a second. I don't know that we can necessarily say 80%. That sounds like an awfully high approximated percentage of odds for something like this to happen anywhere, let alone Busch Gardens in particular. I'm pretty sure the odds aren't that good for something about this.
I mean,
Tammy Grayson says lawsuits for sure. Yeah, definitely sounds about right. Sorry, AJ, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, think about it though. You know how a person is born every minute? Well, think about it like this. Every 5 minutes, there's a roller coaster stopping right now.
Where did you read that statistic? That sounds like one of those statistics that's like, that sounds true, but it's like, it's functionally not. I don't know. Like, do you recall where you read that originally?
No, that's just something I have on my mind. Like, just think about it. Because everyone's riding a roller coaster. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people are riding roller coasters. Maybe now, well, probably not now because there's a storm outside, here in, VA, but maybe somewhere in California, someone's riding on a roller coaster at this very moment.
Okay, let's try something here, because I don't want, YouTube or Facebook or one of these platforms to flag us for spreading fake new disinformation. How often do roller coaster accidents happen? Okay, approximately 4 deaths annually in the United States are associated with roller coasters. Although traumatic injuries resulting in the deaths of roller coaster patrons tend to receive the most media attention, they only represent 1/4 of all fatalities. This is according to BMJ, whatever that stands for. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. The odds of a roller coaster accident are 1 in 15.5 million, according to BMW Law Group, which I'm trusting has nothing to do with the car manufacturer, but okay. So there you go. AJ, any final thoughts on this, I guess? Or shall we move on from here? I don't know.
That's all I got.
Okay. I mean, I hear you on just basically like, this is the sort of thing that it's not entirely unprecedented. We've heard it before. I'm glad to see that the odds are very, very low, but it's like, it's one of those things that because of the devastation that's possible, it almost justifies not even taking the risk. Like, I remember when Final Destination 2 came out, that opening sequence, the horrible freeway accident, it's like, I almost didn't want to drive for a while after that, just on principle. And I mentioned Final Destination 3 earlier. I think that was the one where the big horrible accident in the beginning of that movie involved the roller coaster completely falling apart. And it's like, it's a movie. That stuff happens in real life, but like, it was blown out of proportion for the purposes of a movie. Even in that fictional context, it's hard to just sort of accept that as fiction, given what we know as far as what we've seen happen in real life. We've seen news reports on stuff like that, on horrible accidents like that happening. They're rare, and it's good to see confirmation that it's rare, but I don't know. Let's move on to another topic, because this is like more unsettling the more that we think about it, actually. But anyway, let's move on. We have 4 topics left before the top of the hour. Once again, this is Weird News right here on Weekend Showcase. We're streaming live across YouTube, Kick, Facebook, and Twitter at Weekend Showcase. Thanks so much for joining us and smashing that like button and subscribing or following. Let's see. We have 4 topics left to go. Here is the first one from the Associated Press. Let's see here. Okay, hungry ticks can use this static trick to land on you and your pets. This might be an important thing to pay attention to, given that we're halfway through summer here. Major insect season here. Hungry ticks have some slick tricks. They can zoom through the air using static electricity to latch onto people, pets, and other animals, new research shows. This was published by Associated Press on June 30th. Humans and animals naturally pick up static charges as they go about their days, and those charges are enough to give ticks a boost to their next blood meal, according to a study published Friday in the journal Current Biology. I guess this is 2 Fridays ago. While the distance is tiny, it's the equivalent of us jumping 3 or 4 flights of stairs in one go. Wow, said study author Sam England, an ecologist now at Berlin's Natural History Museum. Okay, Stephen Rich, a public health entomologist at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, said ticks are ambush predators. They can't jump or fly onto their hosts. Instead, they hang out on a branch or a blade of grass with their legs outstretched, a behavior known as questing, and wait for people or animals to pass by so they can grab on and bite. It seems that ticks are limited to how far they can stretch on their tippy toes, but now scientists are learning that static charges may help expand their reach. Okay, the researchers looked at a species of tick called the castor bean tick, which is common across Europe. This bloodsucker and its cousins are major culprits in spreading diseases to animals and humans, including Lyme disease, and are most active in warm months. Researchers found that when they charged up electrodes and placed them near young ticks, the creatures would whiz through the air to land on those electrodes. Okay, AJ, what... Wow, that was a perfectly timed blast of thunder in the background there. Holy crap. Because, yeah, this is very unnerving to read about. Like, just basic static electricity leaves you susceptible to picking up these insects and contracting a serious disease. I mean, what are we supposed to do with this information, AJ? Just walk around outside at the beach or something in a beekeeper suit or something like that, just so that they don't have easy access to skin? I mean, what do we do with this, AJ?
I mean, it gives me a whole new respect for superheroes and supervillains that have electricity powers.
But that's fiction. I mean, when we're sort of navigating our real lives, look at this thing. This is in the spider family. Are you kidding me? Brain spaz. Oh goodness, come on, brain spaz. Brain spaz on YouTube saying God must have been in a bad mood when he made ticks.
True that.
I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to, Ms. D says, all capital letters, hate, ticks, Yeah, they are not likable. These are not likable creatures. Absolutely not. These are the months where they come out. I did not know this. This is one of those things that makes me a little bit nervous to go out into, like walking through the park, visiting a beach, and there's these little patches of grass that you may like come through on the way there, or that may pop out in between the sand, stuff like that, depending on what beach you go to. I don't know. AJ, how much of an outdoorsy person are you?
I like to get out there every now and then. I like to get my legs sweaty, get my heart pumping, all that jazz. The only thing is, I don't like grass.
That's just in general before I read this topic?
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, I would not blame you. Like, I was all good with grass, but now upon hearing this, swipe left. I'm going to stay the expletive deleted away from anything that remotely looks like it might pass past one of these insects to my skin. And definitely after having come in contact with a shag carpet or a balloon or anything that might give me any sort of like a static electricity charge or something to make that a little bit easier on them, I don't think so. But anyway, whatever. Let's go ahead and move on. We have 3 topics left to go. Once again, this is Weird News right here on Weekend Showcase, streaming live across YouTube, Kick, Facebook, and Twitter at Weekend Showcase. Those of you who are with us live, thanks so much for joining and smashing that like button and subscribing or following. And we have 3 topics left to go. Let me see if I can go ahead and move around this. Did I lose the... I guess I lost the control. Good grief. Oh, there it is. I was trying to find where the little cursor was, but all right, there we are. Okay, next topic. Robot takes podium as orchestra conductor in Seoul. Oh, come on. Go away. Thank you.
Oh, dude.
All right. So, an android robot, Ever 6, took the conductor's podium in Seoul on Friday evening to lead a performance by South Korea's national orchestra, marking the first such attempt in the country. This is in Seoul, South Korea. It looks like a couple Fridays ago, first published in Reuters on June 30th. The 2-armed robot, designed by the Korea Institute of Industrial Technology, made its debut at the National Theatre of Korea, leading musicians in the country's national orchestra. The robot, with a humanoid face, first bowed to the audience and started waving its arms to control the tempo of the live show. Yep, there it is. That's an Android, clearly not an iOS. So take that, Mac people. This is what androids can do. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what the operating system on the internal the internal operating system would be. I don't know. I just like to harp on any opportunity to sort of like troll Mac and iOS as a platform. You know, I'm a little salty. Sue me. Anyway,
Of course.
don't sue me. Anyway, moving on. So movements by a conductor are very detailed. Choi Soo-yeol, apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, who led Friday's performance alongside the robot, said, the robot was able to present such detailed moves much better than I had imagined, but Ever Six's critical weakness is that it cannot listen. So how can you conduct... I don't follow. How can you conduct an orchestra without being able to hear the music? I don't... Brain spaz saying, and another AI learning to take a human's job. Yeah, no, we've talked about this on this show and other places as well that have covered scientific and technological subjects like this. Have already talked about this to death by now, basically. AI is not going anywhere anytime soon, and the sooner we sort of figure out how to like coexist in a way that doesn't run the risk of just permanently making ourselves obsolete, you know, needs to be sort of looked into and taken seriously. Kemi Grayson Show on YouTube says, interesting. Yeah, no, it is. But at the same time, to the previous commenter's point, yeah, this is like you had another human helping out with the conducting process because, as we've established, it can't listen. But I mean, for how much longer is that going to be the case? Obviously, a next model is going to be able to do that, and then like as time goes on, more and more of these impediments are going to start getting chopped down. Let's see. We have one more thing from Kemi Grayson. It looks like here. Thank you. Vibes, maybe. The vibration, the sound waves, vibrations of the sound waves. That's an interesting idea. And then Kemi Grayson Show also says, I totally agree with you. Yeah. AJ, any last thoughts on this before we move on?
Why does the robot not have legs?
Well, it has these little, it has a little like trolley sort of situation, I guess, to help with mobility. So at least that's something, you know. It just sort of like rolls out there like a Roomba, I guess, or judging by the style of wheels there, like one of those giant cabinets that like your fourth grade science teacher would roll into the classroom whenever, you know, the teacher doesn't feel like giving a lecture and just like put in a VHS tape of Bill Nye or something. Those are the wheels that will be used to roll the TV into the classroom on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I think it's a little weird. You can't really say the robot ran away with the podium more than you can just say he kind of wheeled on out of there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, but this does seem like one of those things that's kind of unnecessary to give to an AI to do. Like I've been seeing a lot more of these kinds of topics too, where you have a thing that's okay, it's conversation starter worthy, you know, to have AI doing this, but at the same time, what justifies the desire to have AI being exposed to this task in the first place? Why is it so important to train AI to do something that a human being would just naturally be implicitly better at doing anyway? Like interpreting music. You know, here again, this goes back to like what the writers strike, what the writers and actors are striking about right now, partially, which goes down to, you know, the AI sort of doing their jobs. You know, the creative arts are better when humans do them. Some things can't be sort of done by an algorithm. Some things you need the human experience to be able to create and convey. And a robot is like it. All these AI programs, they're a difference engine. They're lights and clockwork. It's you know, not to be too much Will Smith about it, you know, especially because like I am not about to slap Chris Rock, but it's like bonus points if you saw iRobot, by the way. But it's just lights and clockwork in here. There's nothing. There's no soul in there. The Kami Grayson Show on YouTube says possibly remote-like drones. In what do you mean remote-like drones in the sense of explaining what this kind of technology is or where it comes from? I guess that seems like I don't know. Could you give further clarity on what you mean by that, Kami Grayson Show, please? Thank you. But yeah, this just seems like something that didn't need to happen. At least in my experience, in my understanding and opinion, it doesn't really seem like it was necessary. But AJ, is that it? You got anything else on this?
Nope.
Okay,
Nothing
cool.
else for me.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on. We're keeping an ear to the ground for more feedback from Cami Grace and okay. The next comment is coming through now, I guess. Control, thank you. We were on Why No Legs. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Like here, yeah, because I was drawing the Roomba comparison a minute ago anyway. So yeah, that makes sense. But I still stand by my previous statement. Like, we shouldn't be giving stuff like this to AI. Creative things should not be given to AI. Like that, I feel like that should be the line. AJ, do you agree with that?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, cool. What do you guys think? Those of you at home watching, do you agree? Do you think that there can be a space for AI in the creative arena? Like, hit us up with a comment and let us know what you think. Let's go ahead and move on. We have 2 topics left, I believe. Yeah, this is the next to last one. Okay, so this is from Metro. Granddad finds snake in bag of broccoli he bought in Aldi. Ooh, that's bad press for Aldi. Good grief. Let's see. Neville Linton, aged right, and his son. Oh, sorry. Neville Linton, standing at the right, and his son Donovan realized quickly that the creature wriggling around the broccoli was too big to be a caterpillar. Ooh, boy. Neville Linton, 63, picked up the stem of broccoli from the supermarket in Stourbridge, West Midlands a month ago. The vegetable was left in the fridge for 3 days before Neville plucked it out, unwrapped it, and found the tiny ladder snake amazingly still alive. Not the world's biggest snake fan, the granddad of one backed away and called for his sister to come and give him a hand. Let's see. Ladder snakes, which are mostly found around Spain and Portugal, are not venomous, but have been known to nip humans. Well, at least it's good that that's not a death risk there. Neville and Anne-Marie, the sister, put the creature in a tub and drove back to the Aldi where the broccoli had originally been bought so they could present it to a shop assistant. Wow! Yeah, that thing really sticks out. Wow, I would totally freak out if I saw this. Like, it's like my inner Indiana Jones is like yelling right now. Like, why did it have to be snakes? Why did it have to be snakes? Like, that's... AJ, what's your reaction to this?
All I'm gonna say, broccoli's my favorite vegetable. If I happen to bring a stem of it home and there's a snake in there, I'm not just going back to the market. I'm throwing the broccoli at the dude's face and hope that the snake nips him a little bit, you know? I'm gonna be like, this is unacceptable, man. Like, I have children at home.
How do you know the shop person isn't also a parent, though?
Because he put a snake in my broccoli. Only an insane man would do that. No family man would do that.
Wow. I guess it sounds like you're pretty much done with that person. And let's see, what do we have? We have another thing from the comment section. Control, can we put that on here? Do we have that? Control? Where we are? Here we are. So, Cami Grace in the show, I guess, yeah, it feels the same way about broccoli. I'm done with broccoli. Yeah, I could definitely understand that. I definitely understand and relate to that. Ms. D on YouTube says, spiders are creepier, period. Too many legs. Okay, so let's open this up to the room here. Let's start with you, AJ. What is creepier, spiders or snakes?
Definitely snakes. Like, my thing is, with a spider, you can always have happy, pleasant thoughts from time to time, like Spider-Man.
Like what? Oh, I might get superpowers from this? What do you mean happy, pleasant thoughts with spiders?
Like you think, when you see a spider, you think, oh, snap. Like, kind of like Spider-Man. And with a spider, you can at least squish that thing, you know? You kill it. With a snake, it's a lot harder to kill it. And then you have to run the risk of not knowing if that thing, if it bites you, will it kill you?
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatnot. So I personally just think snakes are worse, you know, because they can also strangle you to death. You know, worst thing a spider can do is bite you. Snakes, you know, they can eat you, strangle you, bite you, slither on you.
I'm kind of stuck on how in the world did this thing find its way through the entire bagging and, like, preservation process. You know, like, everything that this snake would have had to go through with these heads of broccoli in order to wind up on a store shelf for somebody to buy it and take it all the way home, open up the bag and go, snake. Like, everything that snake would have had to go through from in the wild to the refrigerator. I'm just shocked at this thing's resilience more than anything else, quite frankly.
No.
I mean, clearly there's not enough quality control on that, but I don't know. This seems like This seems like something that, I don't know, like Aldi may need to do a little bit of damage control on, I think, because this is starting to make some headlines here. Ms. D says, spiders can kill you too, plus too many creepy legs. Okay, I guess we know where Ms. D stands on the creepiness of the spiders thing. Definitely not one for insects more than anything else from Ms. D. Thank you for the comment, Ms. D. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the last topic. And remember, those of you at home watching along, if you want to do any further research on this or any of the other topics that we've been talking about tonight, you can hit up the sources area at the bottom of this video on YouTube or Facebook, where all of our sources are linked there, or listed, excuse me, listed there. So you can go ahead and start your research process there if you like. Let's go ahead and move on. We're a couple minutes over the hour, but this is the last topic, so we're going to go ahead and try and finish strong here. This is from Lad Bible. Let's see. What in the world is this? What is... Exit. Okay. What are you doing? Please stop that. Are we serious right now? Do you not... Ugh, brother, it's not going to go away without that. All right, whatever. Bizarre phenomenon of paradoxical undressing before people freeze to death. There's a bizarre phenomenon known as paradoxical undressing, which occurs in those suffering from hypothermia and is thought to have caused a headache for police in the past. Hypothermia is a condition that occurs when your body temperature drops at 35 degrees centigrade or lower, and if left untreated, it can cause the body to completely shut down. Did I say centigrade? I meant to say Celsius. Sorry.
You did.
Celsius, yeah. According to the NHS, some of the symptoms of the condition include shivering, slurred speech, slow breathing, tiredness or confusion, and pale and cold skin. Paradoxical undressing. Okay, it's not letting me scroll down here. Past this point, that's very strange. Okay, let's try this. Hang on a second. Paradoxical undressing hypothermia. Let's try that. What causes? Okay, it is concluded that paradoxical undressing might be explained by changes in peripheral vasoconstriction in the deeply hypothermic person. It represents the last effort of the victim and is followed almost immediately by unconsciousness and death. But what is it? I guess that's... Why do you take your clothes off when you have hypothermia? I guess that's what it is. Brain Spaz says, hard to imagine undressing while freezing. Wow, I guess that's what that is. When people are found after suffering or dying from hypothermia, some will have taken off their clothes. This is called paradoxical undressing. Your brain interprets the extreme cold as freezing hot. I'm trying to remember if this was like season 4 or season 6 of Archer. I remember an episode where they were in this Arctic area. It was Have you seen this episode?
Yep.
Yeah, there were a couple of characters that they were traveling with going up this mountain, and it was a really bizarre blizzard that they had to sort of like hunker down through to get through the night. And when they woke up the next morning, 2 people were dead in the snow, basically naked, basically undressed, and it was explained away by one of the other characters as paradoxical undressing. I didn't know that was a real thing. Like, turns out that's a real thing. Wow. Okay, so, let's see. I guess. Oh, here's some information. Why shouldn't you rub someone with hypothermia? This is from the Mayo Clinic. Don't massage or rub the person. Excessive, vigorous, or jarring movements may trigger cardiac arrest. Move the person out of the cold. Move the person to a warm, dry location if possible. Brain Spaz on YouTube saying, freezing hot? What a concept. Shout out to Eliza Schlesinger while we're at it. Get it? She did a Netflix comedy special called Freezing Hot. But anyway, never mind. Yeah, so this is an interesting sort of piece of public service announcement there. Not really sure what else to do with that. Let's see. Trying to find some possible solutions for that. For how do you deal with that? If going indoors is impossible, protect the person from the wind, especially around the neck and head. Insulate the individual from the cold ground. Gently remove wet clothing. Replace wet things with warm, dry clothes or with warm, dry coats or blankets. Okay, I guess that just in the interest of simplicity and the fact that this video as live content is, this topic isn't very timely considering we're smack in the middle of summer and we're talking about hypothermia. But that seems to be the elephant in the room there. But those of you who are thinking of visiting colder climate might want to make sure that you do your research into this, as far as like having some proper understanding of what to do just in case. And obviously, we say in the description of all these video contents that we put out, just take all this information as like with a grain of salt. Nothing we say or do or show here is intended to be interpreted as serious like medical advice. Make sure you talk to your healthcare professional, for actual like usable, applicable to your situation medical advice. We don't do that sort of thing. So anyway, I have to get that said and clarified. I guess that's it for this topic, unless AJ, do you have any other thoughts on this before we shut down?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay, cool. I guess that's basically going to be it for this topic, which means that is a wrap for this week's headlines. AJ, what was your favorite topic tonight?
Definitely the dude that married the crocodile.
Okay, why?
So many amazing jokes can come out of it. Like, all right, honey, I'm leaving the house. See you later, alligator. And then the crocodile snarls, and it's like, I'm sorry. I know you don't like those jokes. Or, you could be like, oh, guys, my wife's a real croc. Because she's a crocodile. And, my wife's so cold-blooded. Crocodile.
Wow.
See, there's so much. It's creative.
That's yeah, you got a million of them, it seems like. Good grief. I'm going to say, you know what? My favorite topic of the week, I'm trying to think. Probably... Goodness, these are all so bizarre. It's hard to really sort of pick out a favorite here, per se. Let me say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say the ticks and static electricity thing. Not because it's a good thing, but I like topics. I like when we do weird news topics. They can actually come away learning something productive, that can actually like help improve your quality of life or minimize like risk of coming across something bad later, because like the more you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I can see a couple of topics that we've talked about tonight actually fitting into that category. But I'm gonna go ahead and focus on this because some of us live in kind of like foresty sort of terrain. So like it's kind of important, to bear stuff like this in mind as you navigate around, grassy or tree populated areas. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
definitely want to bear that in mind. Anyway, all right, cool. So while we have that settled, what was your favorite topic? Those of you at home, go ahead and shoot us a comment with your favorite topic of the week. But for now, as we shut things down, it's time for Dad Joke of the Day.
Oh, boy.
Yep, here we go. Dad Joke of the Day. We got to close it out, man. It's that time again. All right, let's see. How about... Okay, how about this? But this is sort of like on the heels of the I married an alligator story. I can always tell when my wife is lying just by looking at her. I can also tell when she's standing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, I'll find a better one. All right, I'll find a better
Yeah.
one. I'll find a better one. All right, that's fine.
Oh.
All right, let's see. No. I'm trying to find another spousal one here. Let's see. Okay. How about this? Why didn't the astronaut come home to his wife?
He was trapped in space-time.
Close. That's actually surprisingly close. Why didn't the astronaut come home to his wife? He needed his space. There we go.
All right, we'll give you that one.
All right, cool. All right, that was Dad Joke of the Day. And that's basically going to bring this particular episode of Weird News Live to a close. Drop a comment down below to continue the convo. Visit us at Weekend Showcase on all major social media platforms, including TikTok, or linktr.ee/Weekend Showcase, like in the description and the crawl down below, to see it all in one place. We are taking a break from live streams starting tonight. We'll be coming back in September with more brand new episodes. That's what we're looking at right now, September. We don't have an exact date in place for that yet, but we're going to be way more active on TikTok over this next several weeks to couple months here. So make sure you're following us on TikTok at Weekend Showcase to stay on top of our content there. And make sure you're following us on other social media platforms as well when we announce when we're going live again, which we're looking at basically just picking right up again with more weird news headlines, more game streams, all sorts of stuff. Shoot us a note in like our comments or, contact form on the Linktree page. If you have some weird news topics or games you want to see us run commentary on, we'll give it a shot. In the meantime, thanks so much for visiting and spending a little time with us as the weekend shuts down. My name is Don.
I'm AJ.
And hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will see you next time. Be safe. Have a good one. Good night. Where is the design? I missed it again. There it is. And there's the ending graphic. All right, cool. All right. Good night, everybody.